Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're good and I hope life's treating you okay or well or splendidly. I hope for the best for you, truly, I do. This video has been long awaited. If you are new around here, back at the beginning of 2020, 2 years ago, I decided to do a Project 10 pan, which means that you choose 10 makeup products from your collection and you're not allowed to purchase any new makeup until those products are finished. I decided to do this because I have a shopping addiction. It is well known, and one of my absolute Achilles heels was makeup. I've always been a huge makeup enthusiast. I love makeup. I love playing with it, trying new products. The real kicker is that I also loved luxury makeup. I was a makeup collector. Like, all the new releases I would want to try. A, it wasn't good for my wallet at all. And B, it's not good for the environment, it's wasteful. I only have one face and I didn't need all of those products. Obviously at the time, I didn't really think like that. I was just like, I love makeup, I collect makeup, and it is still something that I love, and I still have an abnormally large makeup collection for one person who wears literally the same products every single day. But I just had an excess of products, and so I decided to do Project 10 pan, and then when I would finish one of my 10, I would replace it with another product. So I constantly had 10 products that I was absolutely rinsing to try and use up, and I stuck to it. It took me like 2.5 years. I completed all 10 products. I think in total I ended up completely finishing 20 products, which I was really pleased with. I thought I would do a little video kind of talking about what it has taught me, I guess, but also showing you the products that I have recently purchased. I did my first makeup order in nearly 3 years. It was very exciting. It was very exciting. I need to do a little disclaimer. I need to preface this with my job at the time was very much makeup and beauty and talking about products, trying products, using new products to recommend to you, finding new favorites to talk about every month. A lot of what I used to talk about was makeup based. A big part of my job was to try new things. In some senses, some of it was somewhat justified, but also I'm very fortunate that because that was part of my job, a lot of beauty brands had me on their PR list. Less so these days because I don't really do that much beauty anymore, but back then I was receiving a lot of PR. So brands would send me products in the hopes of me talking about them online and reviewing them. So I wasn't going without, I wasn't not getting new products. It was less so about that. It was more so about stopping myself from unnecessarily purchasing makeup that I didn't need, training myself to stop the shopping habit. I was chasing that dopamine. You know what I mean? I have done a little haul of makeup. I'm going to show you the products that I've purchased. It is quite a big order, but a lot of it is also things I've repurchased. So a few things that I definitely have learned from Project 10 pan is A, how privileged I am to have PR. It made me check my privilege, of which I have a lot, I'm very grateful for. Made me realize how little I actually needed. I am these days much more of a everyday face kind of girl for every occasion. Like, I work out of a makeup bag now, whereas I used to rotate and try new things every single day. For my everyday face, I didn't have an everyday makeup routine because I would use a different product every day. I've learned that there is something so lovely about having a makeup bag of products that you know you love, that work for you, that you can do really quickly. I still spend more than the average on my makeup, like time-wise. I'm not going to deny that. It's my favorite time of day and I get a lot of joy out of doing my makeup, so I do take a long time to do it. But it used to take me an obscene amount of time because I was searching for a new product to use every day and going through drawers of makeup to find something to use. Whereas now I have this makeup bag and a routine that I can do in half an hour and be done. So it's saved me a lot of time, it's saved me a lot of money, and it's also made me appreciate certain products a lot when I didn't have them anymore. You'll see there are a few products here that I have repurchased since doing 10 pan that I have missed so much. To repurchase them was like really exciting to like use them again. I also appreciate how long it takes to use products up. Some of those products lasted for forever and I felt like I would never use them up. I finally did, but like, my goodness, some of those products I thought I was going to take to the grave. Genuinely, I was like, I'm never going to buy a product again. I will link down below some of my Project 10 Pound videos if you'd like to see the process, me talking about them monthly, etc. I thought I'd keep this video somewhat short and sweet and just get into what I've picked up. So I think I'm going to start with things that I've repurchased, and then I'll show you some new things. So there were a few products that throughout the 2.5 years I was absolutely itching to get back into my life. And a few of these are like super old classics that I've had in my collection since I was like 14, 15. Like, these are staples that I think I will always have in rotation. The first one being the MAC Face and Body Foundation. However, they have reformulated this and changed the colors and the shades and the packaging since I did my 10 pan. So it's not what I used to use, however it is equally as beautiful. So I picked up the shades C5 and C6. This is one of my favorite foundations I've ever had. Yeah, when I ran out of mine, I was really gutted that I couldn't purchase a new one. The perfect light everyday coverage. However, the more you buff it, the more coverage it builds. So it's one of the most versatile foundations I have. It is beautiful on the skin. It looks so natural. It photographs amazingly, and I'm just so thrilled to have it back in my life just in time for summer, because this is my go-to summer foundation. I love it. So I'm thrilled to have these back in my life. These are some absolute throwbacks. I picked up a couple of shades of the MAC Studio Fix powder. Oh my goodness. This is such a throwback. The shades C35 and NC20. C35 I use to set my skin. So I actually really love using it with the face and body because it's actually a powder foundation. So it has quite a bit of coverage in it when you use it as a foundation, but you can use it really lightly and it just adds a little bit of coverage, which is how I like to use it. So I use NC35 all over my skin. And then I like to set under my eyes using NC20, which is really light, especially on me at the minute with my tan. I use this to highlight, reverse contour, etc. And these look so good on camera, like photos, flash photography, and these bad boys. Stunning. You can tell they're my favorites because I've picked them up in like multiple shades. I'm just so happy to have them home. Welcome home. The next product is one of the original 10 from my Project 10 pan. It is the NARS Radiance Primer SPF 35. I think I've used 4 or 5 tubes of this. Like, it is just a lovely base. It makes your skin fresh looking and light, and it gives this gorgeous glow. It's hydrating, it has SPF in it, and my makeup just, it allows the natural oils to come through in this lovely glowy way rather than like oily, and I just absolutely love it. Really happy to have this back. Another repeat purchase is the Too Faced Better Than Sex liner. This is waterproof. This is one of my favorite liners ever, and I don't see many people talking about it. It's so good. I think I actually worked on the launch when they launched this in like 2019, 2020. Yeah, I used up 2 of them, and I've been kind of using other products to replace this, but this is actually my favorite liquid liner. It's got a really fine brush tip. It's really dark, black, waterproof, has a slightly shiny finish, but nothing crazy. It's a really good liner. We have 2 more OGs. The first one is honestly one of the biggest OGs ever, the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. This time I picked up the shade Ginger. I think like everyone and their mum has tried this concealer. It's the perfect medium coverage concealer. A natural demi-matte finish. It's not drying, it's not cakey. It has a little bit of hydration so that your under eyes don't look like crepe paper, but it's not so creamy that it just creases all over the place. What's the word? This is such a cult product for good reason, because as soon as I used it, I was like, that's why I loved it so much. It's so nice to like re-find a love and really appreciate a product. It's yeah, I really, like, can you tell how much fun I had doing this shopping? So good. Obviously, I had to pick up a By Terry Cellular Rose Brightening CC Serum in the shade Sunny Flash. I just picked up a baby one because this is such an expensive product. It really is for what it is. In this time, I have found duplicates and I've found other things that I like. not as much, but give a similar effect. So I wanted to pick up a mini one to try it and to see whether it's as good as I remember, because I've not had one in like a year. It's really good. And I'm glad I got a small one because I took it traveling with me. I took it to Barbados and basically just wore this as like my base every single day, and it just evens out your skin and gives you a lovely glow. So I will be repurchasing the full size eventually when I finish this up. Unfortunately, it is just really, really good. Final repurchase before we move into the really fun stuff. I picked up a new Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder. This is the lightest, finest powder ever. It just smooths out your pores. Your skin just looks completely seamless. Just absolutely stunning. Like, it's so lightweight, and you can continue to top up your makeup with it without it caking up. It stays really clear, like it doesn't clog up. It just mattifies in a really natural way. So I'm really happy that this is back. So for me, this is fun. For some of you guys, you might be like, snore. For me, the most exciting things to try are foundations and concealers. I've learned that over the years. I love to try bronzer, I love to try foundation, I love to try concealer. I just love base products. My eyes, eyebrows, mascara, lip products even, often just stay the same. But you give me a new concealer to try, oh, very exciting time. So maybe I'll get them out of the way. I have 4 foundations and 4 concealers to talk about. So the first one is a brand new release from NARS. You know that NARS Natural Radiant Longwear is my favorite foundation of all time. So whenever NARS releases a new foundation, especially a radiant one, I have to try it. So this is the light reflecting foundation, and I got the shade Barcelona. So some of these products I can give you a little bit of a review on, but some of them I haven't tried yet. This one I have tried a couple of times. It's a really, really lovely foundation. It's good. I'm really pleased I picked this one up. So it's like a light to medium, again, buildable coverage. It is light reflecting. It's quite thin and looks very natural on the skin, which is kind of what you would hope for. I haven't truly tested its longevity yet, so I can't comment on that. I haven't tried it for like a full day's wear. I haven't worn it up to London or anything. I've only really worn it just playing around at home, but it does look really, really flawless on the skin, and I am very impressed so far. But I will definitely use it on camera for you guys so you can see it. You will have already seen my like dewy skin makeup tutorial, which I think I used quite a few products from here anyway, so you've already seen some of these products in action. But I'll try and do a couple more videos showing you other things. The Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation, oil-free, SPF 30, and I picked up the shade 350 Maple. Same situation as NARS. I have tried this on my skin, but I haven't tried it, if you know what I mean. I've tried it on, but I haven't really tested it yet. So far, what I can say is it's a really like a natural finish. It's like, again, a kind of satin finish, a medium coverage, again, buildable. I really like the shade of this. It's a little bit on the pinker side than I would normally go for, but when I catch the sun, I like to have a slightly more neutral shade. There's naturally some more like red in my cheeks, even though my overall body is quite warm. This is a good shade for me right now, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I actually blended this in with my fingers when I tried it, and I really liked how it looked. I'm excited to play with this a little bit more. Also, if there is anything here, like any of these 4 foundations in particular that you would like me to talk about or review, or maybe try it on Instagram stories or something, let me know in the comments. Like if there's anything here that really does interest you, I will try to prioritize that in order that I talk about them, if that makes sense. I have tried this foundation before, but we are talking 2015, a long time ago. This is the Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Hydra Foundation. I picked up the shade 2.1, Warm Peach Undertone. I used to love this foundation back in the day, so when I saw it, I was like, I definitely want to try this one again, because I know I emptied the whole bottle back then. And that's really interesting to me, is trying products that you used to love. My makeup style has changed. Sorry, I've been talking solidly for like 25 minutes already, and my voice is, whew. Your skin changes, I'm aging, my skin is changing, my style is changing, my preferences have changed in how I want my makeup to look and feel and apply. How I apply my makeup has changed. So trying something now compared to how I used to feel about it, I think is quite fun. There's this like element of nostalgia about makeup products that if you are a kind of OG makeup lover, YouTube early days makeup lover, when you see certain products, there is this feeling of nostalgia that really takes you back to that time, like how products smell. I don't know why the first thing that came into my head is like the Too Faced chocolate palette. Like, so many of you, that's gonna take you right back, remind you of like the good old days of YouTube when it was all about the mining. That reference is very niche. If you get that, I'm really impressed. And yeah, I kind of feel that way about this product because one of my first ever sponsored videos was with Boots, and they asked me to pick out a full face of makeup for it. I remember this was the foundation I chose and being so excited to have it because Smashbox was one of these like cult products back then on YouTube. So anyway, I picked this up because I'd like to try it again and see whether I like it. That was a roundabout way of saying I haven't tried it yet, but I'm excited to try it again. And then finally for foundations, quite a few products here are recommendations from fellow online people, and someone who I absolutely adore is Alana Davidson, Alana Rama, and she always talks about, I guess I'll talk about these together, the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Self-Setting Concealer. She uses this all the time, and while I was looking for it, I also saw their Reboot foundation. So this says it brightens, smooths, firms, hydrates, and evens out. So it's meant to be quite like a natural radiance enhancing foundation, which ticks a lot of boxes for me personally. I think it's quite clear the style of makeup I'm into and kind of foundations I like. I like a medium, glowy, semi-natural looking finish. Yeah, I got the shade Y242. I'm really, really intrigued by this foundation. I know for a fact this isn't my shade right now. The Smashbox and this are both far too light because I actually ordered them before I went away and I didn't think that I wasn't gonna actually be able to wear them for a while. And yeah, which brings us on to the concealer portion of this video. So the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Concealer, I picked up the shade 21. Alana always speaks about this. It's claimed to be a self-setting concealer. I will always set my concealer because my under eyes crease like ball sacks. I think it's because I've got quite round eyes. I've got quite a deep set crease under my eye. Maybe I'm just getting old, but I do think it's partially because I've got quite a natural hollow. So my concealer does crease under my eyeball. So I'm always looking for really smoothing concealers that will not crease on me, and this is far too pale for me at the moment. Like, that is very, very light next to me. So again, I've not really had that much time to play with it, but I am very much looking forward to when I can. I picked up a mini NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Almond, medium dark 3 to contour, and I've actually used it every single day to contour my cheeks since I got it because it adds coverage as well as color. So I really, really like this. I should have talked about that with the other one because it's the same concealer, different shade, mini size. Speaking of same concealer, different shade, mini size, I have a new favorite concealer that I can't believe I've never tried because the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation is one of my favorite foundations ever in the whole world. I can't believe I've not tried their concealer. So I picked up the shade Beach in this adorable mini size. Look how tiny. But I also picked up the shade Pearl in the full size, and just look at this packaging. Like, I am sorry, Hourglass knows how to do packaging. Their packaging is absolutely flawless to me. This is one of my new favorite concealers ever. It's so full coverage, like really, really full coverage. So a little bit goes a long way, which I love. I love using a full coverage concealer, so I have to use less product. Using a sheer coverage foundation is all well and good, but then when you cover it up with loads and loads of product to actually add coverage where you need it, it kind of defeats the purpose. So I like to use a really sheer foundation and then a really, really opaque concealer very sparingly to add the coverage where it needs to go, and it keeps your overall skin looking so much fresher. This is such a lovely concealer, and yeah, if you haven't tried it yet, definitely give it a go. Okay, finally, you're doing great. I actually picked up the matching Shiseido concealer to the foundation. This is the shade 301 Medium. Beautiful. It's very natural looking. It's not as full coverage as the Hourglass, but it's quite thin and light, but still has, for how thin it is, a good amount of coverage. You know what I mean? Like the ratio of coverage to texture, it's on the thinner end with a higher coverage. scale. Looks really natural and lasts really, really well. I'm actually wearing it as my concealer today. All right, we have like one more basey product, the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Setting Powder in the shade Banana. This was once again sold to me by Alana Davidson. She did a job with Makeup Forever, and influencing works, you guys. I get influenced by influencers. There's a reason why the market is booming. Getting the opinions of people that you trust online, it sells me products. I really like this. I'm afraid that the color is a bit too yellow for me. I actually like a slightly pinker under eye. That's very recent. I actually put my blush under my eyes since that like put your lipstick under your eye trend started. I have been doing that every day. I did it today. It just makes me look so much fresher. So actually I haven't used this that much because it is a bit too yellow and actually a bit dark for me under my eyes. But I'm such a little powder mixer. My under eye setting powders to make the perfect shade. So I do mix this with a pink powder and it makes it a little bit more wearable, but I really like the texture of it and it sits really well and lasts really well. I just got the color wrong, that's on me. A couple of products that I've been desperate to try are from Patrick Tar. First things first, look at this packaging. Oh, you can just see my messy table. Oh, there's me. And there's you. Hi. The Double Take Cream and Powder Blushes. I picked out 2 shades because cream blush is life. I wear cream blush every single day, but I like to set with a powder blush. So this is ideal for me because it's both. So the first shade I picked up is She's Vibrant and the second one is She's So LA. I love these. So I took She's So LA to Barbados with me. It is the most beautiful sun-kissed bronzed color. It's not really a blush. I mean it is, but it's so warm and deep on me that it is kind of like this toasted bronzery finish, and I really love the texture of the cream blushes. They have a bit of glow. They don't set completely matte because you use the blush to set them, but it just adds this luminosity to your face that I just love so much. So I love She's So LA. It's also just a very wearable blush, goes with every look. Actually, the blush that I'm wearing today is She's So Vibrant. Like, look at that color. The cream is so stunning. Like, it's got this kind of glossy finish, and once you blend it out, it's not as scary as it looks in the palette, but it's just the most beautiful pop of color. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but it's just the most stunning shade. Again, it's really wearable. Even though it looks really bright, it is a really, really wearable color, especially with a bit of a tan because it looks quite sun-kissed. Finally, for blushes, I had to get the Vive blush in Piazza. This is also somewhat similar to She's So LA, but actually a little bit darker. It's this gorgeous bean at the beach, caught the sun, a little bit rosy, but also kind of adds to that tanned look. Semi-matte, it's got a tiny bit of sheen to it. Beautiful, beautiful blush and really buildable. And I also took this to Barbados and wore it as well. It looks great also just on like bare skin, just to add a bit of color. But you can also kind of contour with it. So sometimes I put it at the back of my cheek and then use a lighter blush at the front. So it's like a bit of an ombre blush. That also looks really lovely. So yeah, I really, really love this. And I also just love the packaging. It's so cute. I picked out 2 eyeshadow palettes that I have had my eye on for ages. First one, you've seen me talk about. I've been raving about this palette. It's from Natasha Denona and it is the Mini Nude palette. It's absolutely filthy because I have been using this so much. I've been using it every single day. It's my ideal everyday palette. I don't need anything else. Like, I don't need anything. I just don't need anything else. It has everything I need. Warm and a slightly cooler lid color, because you know I love myself a halo eye. It's got a transition shade and a crease color. It's got an inner corner highlight, and then it's got a darker crease color, which I actually mix with the transition shade to make a medium crease color, and then I use that to darken out the outer corner. It's literally all I need. And the texture is the most beautiful texture of eyeshadow ever. These shimmers, I die. I actually can't handle how beautiful the texture of the shimmers are. I'm wearing them on my lids today. Just stunning, stunning. Honestly, if you're somebody who likes to just keep everything minimal in a makeup bag, get this. It takes no space and it's everything you need. It's all the best bits of a palette. Like if I buy like a full palette, these are the colors that I would run out of and then the rest just go to waste. Why waste the space? Just get this. But also, this one's more of a hype-based purchase. Most of these things are things that I've really, really wanted. I've wanted for a long time. I've been eyeing up. Whereas this one is something that I just wanted to get because I was intrigued by it. It is the Hindash palette, the Beauty Topsy palette. So if you've not seen this, I don't know where you've been, but look at this. Basically, the concept of this palette is that each eyeshadow is an ombre, so you have a completely natural transition between each shades because it literally melts together. And it's also supposed to be a full face, so you can highlight, set your under eyes and set your face, blush, contour, brows, also blush, I guess, and then like liner. And obviously then all of them are eye safe for eyeshadow. So it's supposed to be a one and done palette, everything you need. And obviously the kind of gimmick is these ombre shades because you get multiple shades in each one because where they mix is obviously a different shade, you know what I mean? So it's a palette that's kind of made for makeup artists. It's made for mixing. I must say the formula, really lovely, like super, super smooth. It's not like crazy pigment. It's like a buildable formula, which is really, really nice for like everyday use. It's very user friendly. Honestly though, for me, the colors just don't really speak to me now I have it. There's nothing that is as warm as I would like. Obviously this is very warm. This is a warm dark brown, but the transition shades are very cool. So yeah, the colors just don't speak to me as much as I was hoping for them to. But I have played with them. I used the pink actually on my eyes today. I doubt you can actually see because I barely used any product, but oh, maybe you can. I used a little bit of the pink in my crease just to have a little play. And I love the formula. I love the concept. It's very sleek. If the colors speak to you, I think it's a beautiful palette. But yeah, I just don't see me using it as much as I would have hoped to have used it. Speaking of Alana Davidson, this is the Welleda Skin Food, which she talks about every video. And my skin's combination, so sometimes it's really dry, sometimes it's really oily. You can never really predict it. You just have to work with what you get on the day. And on those days when my skin's really dry, I always want something that is just like a balm, but that makeup sits on top of really nicely. And she always says that this is really lovely under makeup, and I concur. I agree with her. I used this in my glowy makeup video the other day, and I've been using it a lot. I really like it. It's just a very thick, like thick. You kind of have to work it into your hands to melt it before you apply it to your skin. Thick, balmy moisturizer, and it's lovely. All right, I have a few products left. I never need to buy a lip product again. I have hundreds, no exaggeration, hundreds of lip products, and I wear the same ones on rotation. However, I am going through a really like big gloss phase at the moment, so I really wanted to try one of the Patrick Tar glosses, and I picked up the shade Pouty, and it is a lip plumping lip gloss, and it's actually the gloss that I'm wearing today. I'm just wearing a little bit of lip liner and then this on top. I like it. Was it worth the money? Honestly, no. I have lip glosses that would look exactly the same. It's practically like a milky clear gloss, but I wanted to try one of his formulas, and it is a very nice lip gloss. If you don't have something similar, I recommend it, but I personally did not need it. So I'm very loyal to my mascaras. I love my Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk mascara, and I love my Diego Della Palma My Toy Boy mascara, and I've just been using those two in rotation for the past 2.5 years basically. However, I thought it was time for me to try a new mascara, a brand that I've actually always really loved their mascaras. Like the Upward Lash used to be one of my favorites. MAC used to make some of my favorite mascaras, and I think they are really underrated. So when I saw that they'd launched a new one, I really wanted to give it a try. So this is the MAC Stack mascara. I've tried it a couple of times. I love it. It's really, really volumizing. Like, really builds up those lashes. It's a plastic wand, which isn't usually my thing, but it definitely grabs onto each hair and deposits a lot of color, similarly to the Upward Lash, which is what I really liked about the Upward Lash mascara. So yeah, Really volumizing. I'm really impressed. You'll definitely see me use this somewhere on the internet at some point. I also picked up the Urban Decay Lash Freak. So I picked up this one because Miss Jamie Genevieve always talks about it. I don't actually like it that much. I'm sorry, Jamie. I'm actually wearing it today. It's just a bit bitty for me. Like, I like my lashes to be really thick and clumped together. This is almost too separating. It like does its job a little bit too well, that it makes my lashes, because my lashes are long, I just like to have the volume rather than the length. So it makes them look a little bit spidery for me, but it does last all day. Like it doesn't transfer or flake or anything. Yeah, if you're looking for a lot of length, then I quite like it, but it's not volumizing enough for me personally. Maybe I'll like it more when it starts to dry out, because to be fair, testing a brand new mascara, no one likes their mascara straight out of the box. You need to give it a few weeks or a few days to get a little bit clumpy, and that is when you hit the sweet spot. So I will update you when it starts to go bad, basically. I have one last beauty purchase. So I am an absolute fragrance fiend. I love perfume. I think that your scent is so important, and I've been like this for a long time. Like I've always kind of had a fragrance. I used to be quite like, when I was younger, like at school, I would only wear like one perfume, and I kind of think it became like a bit of a signature smell. These days I do have a few that I alternate depending on how I'm feeling, but I am very loyal to scents, and it takes quite a lot for me to like wear a fragrance, because I am very particular about what I like, because I think that fragrance, it's an impression you can leave on someone without speaking to them. Like if you walk past someone and you smell nice, people will look back. They'll like, you've made an impression on them without even interacting with them or without them even seeing you. And I just think that there's something so powerful about smelling nice, like having a conversation with someone or going on a date with someone. For me personally, if I go on a date with someone and I like their aftershave, I am infinitely more attracted to them. It is just really, really important to me. And if I leave the house not wearing perfume, I feel so naked. Like it really genuinely like bothers me if I forget to put perfume on, which is rare because it's such a key part of my ritual. It's like spraying my perfume. Anyway, I'm rambling. Basically what I'm trying to say is it takes quite a lot for me to try new perfumes and actually like them. But I like to smell delicious. I like to smell like someone will walk past me and smell me and be like, I would like to take a bite out of that. I want to smell like a baked good all the time. So all of my fragrances are very vanilla-y, rich, warm, sweet, and some of them are quite masculine. I really like a masculine smell. But yeah, they all are very much in the same kind of warm amber vanilla family. I really wanted to try the Kaylee Vanilla 28 fragrance. And this smells like literal vanilla. Like it's the closest thing to just pure vanilla essence I've ever tried. It's actually Huda Beauty's brand, or Huda, what's Huda's surname? Huda of Huda Beauty, one of her brands. It's like, she's got so many brands. She's so successful. For a start, I love this packaging. I think that the bottle is beautiful. I love that the fragrance itself has color to it. And I also, it's the nicest spray I have ever seen on a perfume. Look at this. Like you can completely control how much comes out. And it's the finest mister. It just went up my nose. I'm a mess. Oh my God. Yeah, if you've not smelled this, definitely give it a smell. I wanted to treat myself to a new fragrance, and I've had a lot of compliments on this, which makes me very happy because yeah, like I said, scent it's one of your senses, like a whole sense to base your general aura and like your general vibe off of, like how you speak, how you sound to people, obviously how you present yourself to people physically, how you make people feel, but also scent. And also, because like I was saying earlier, clearly scent is quite important to me because I was talking about nostalgia and products smelling nostalgic to me. You know, it makes you memorable. If someone smells somebody that's wearing a perfume that you are known to wear. It makes people think of you, and I just think that's so nice. It's like you're lingering in their mind with a smell. I know that does that sound really like narcissistic, like making people think about me when I'm not there? That's not what I mean, because I mean it's nice when I smell other people wearing my friends' fragrances, and like, but the worst is when like you go on a date and someone's wearing like your ex's perfume or aftershave. That gets a little awkward. Anyway, those are all of the products that I have picked out, a lot of base products. I've really enjoyed playing with these. Like, it's been so fun for me. I'm not gonna go crazy and buy loads and loads of products now. I think I'm set for a good while until I need to buy anything, but I've really enjoyed the shopping experience. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I've picked up. Thank you for watching. Have the best day, and I will see you so soon. Bye.